Hey guys, so today I wanted to take a look at a game called Hexcells Infinite. This is a minimalistic puzzle game, and I would compare it to games like Minesweeper, very similar mechanics and playstyle. So let's go ahead and start it up. We're going to start at the very beginning so I can just show you how it works. So the number in the middle shows how many blocks on the side need to be flipped over. So this says 6, so that means all 6 of these needs to be selected. This says 0, so I actually need to break all the blocks around this one by right clicking. And that shows that there is no, I would call them mines, but I'm not really sure what you would call them. You're sort of just making a pattern. Right click to destroy hexes that aren't part of the pattern. So I guess some hexes are blank and some hexes are these blue tile, which means I guess they're activated. And you're sort of just making a pattern. So over here, this block says 4, so 4 adjacent hexes need to be flipped. So let's see how we're going to do this. So this one says 3, so all 3 of these need to be flipped over. Now this says 4, so these 2 are already flipped. Let's see here. Trying to see, okay, this one says 2, which means 2 adjacent squares need to be flipped, so all 4 of these are blank. So let's go ahead and remove those. And now we need to flip these 2. And there we go, we just created the pattern and completed the puzzle without making any mistakes. So let's go ahead and keep on going. This one is a little bit challenging at first, but it's actually pretty simple once you get the hang of it. So these say 0. So that means these 2 blocks here and these 2 blocks here can be deleted. This says 0 as well, so these 2 can be deleted. Alright, so this one says 1 and this one says 1, which means it has to be this one, so we're going to flip that. Now over here, since this says 1 and there's already an adjacent hex that's been flipped over, then these 2 can be deleted, so let's go ahead and delete those. And now there's one more here, it says 1, so we need to flip that one. And then over here, since that one says there's only one adjacent, so let's delete that one. Then we just keep on going forward from here. It's actually pretty simple, but I'm actually liking it so far. Let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So this one says 2, so I need to flip these 2. And this one already has 1, so let's go ahead and delete that one. And we can delete these 2 down here. And this one already has 1, so we can delete that one. This one says 2, so we can delete that. And keep on going. Alright, so now we're in the middle. This one's kind of tricky, but there's a 2 in the middle. And that means only 2 of these squares need to be flipped. But since we already know that there's 1 over here that needs to be flipped and 1 over here that needs to be flipped, the answer is pretty simple. It's either this one. Actually, it's actually a little bit different. It's either this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. So I'm just going to guess that it's the top 2. So we're going to go with this one, and then we can delete the rest. Success, and we didn't make any mistakes. Sweet. It's kind of hard to get used to, like at first. I mean, I know I keep saying that, but it's very challenging when you first start. But once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty fun and relaxing, even though it looks very, very basic. It's one of those games that are deceivingly basic, but actually quite challenging at the same time. And it has some very like atmospheric background music. So this one, I haven't completed this challenge before. It says there is 5, so there's only 1 here. So let's go ahead and try, it's either this top one or this bottom one. I'm not sure which. We're going to try the bottom one. Oh, I made a mistake. So I can delete that one. So it has to be this top one. So all these other squares can be removed. This one says there's 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can go ahead and flip all these. There we go. So there's 2 here, so this can be removed. This one says 1, which we have 1, so we can remove the rest. Let's see, is there anything else? This one says 1, and there's 1 attached, so we can remove the rest. And what I mean by 1, it means there's only 1 block. Like whenever it says 1, there's 1 adjacent hex that needs to be flipped over. So all the other adjacent hexes cannot be flipped over, so you might as well just delete them. And that's pretty much how you play the game. It's very, very, very simple, but at the same time, kind of challenging. So this one says 3, and this one says 1, so this one has to be flipped and this one deleted. And again, this one says 3, 1, and then 2, and then one of these has to be flipped, but I'm not sure quite yet, so we're going to have to do that later. This one needs to be flipped. This one says 2, so these 2 need to be flipped. Now we need to follow this path down here at the bottom and go all the way around. So this one says 1. This one says 1, so we can flip this one, delete these two. This one says 3, this one says 1, so this one can be deleted. Oops, I accidentally clicked, so I accidentally made a mistake. I was supposed to delete it, but I pressed the wrong button, but that's okay. So this says 3, so this one has to be flipped. This one can be deleted. These two can be deleted. These two can be deleted. 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this can be deleted. Alright, this says 1, and this is attached to here, so we can go ahead and delete all 3 of these. This one can be flipped. 3, 1, 2, 3. And I think we need to flip this one. Actually, delete it. Since there's 3, this is a 3, and there's 3 blue beside it, so this one can be removed. Success. I only got 2 mistakes there. One, it should have been only 1 mistake, but I just pressed the wrong button. So we're going to do one more puzzle. I really just wanted to play this for a very short amount of time to see what it's about. I got it from the recent Humble Bundle, and I think it's a very cool concept. And it looks like this game is getting a little bit more complicated. Numbers are inside brackets, give additional information that the surrounding hexes are consecutive. Oh, so that means they're all together. So 1, 2, 3, and then delete these 2. I don't like this one because it says there's 2, which means it could be either this side or this side. Alright, I guess that was correct. I mean, what if I clicked the other side and I would have got that wrong, but there's no way of knowing. Oh well. So I'm guessing here's one, and then down, and then to the side, and then maybe down here, and then let's delete the rest. Alright, let's do one more. I was expecting a little bit longer. So this says 0, so these 3 can be removed. They all say 1 now. So this on top says 2. I'm not sure if it's going to be down here or up here. It's kind of a blind, like this is where it gets like, it's like a blind chance of, which I sort of don't like. There needs to be like a pattern that goes all the way through. Wait, actually we can start down here. Since these all say 1, it means they all have to be connected in some way. So I think it's this square, and this square, and then we can remove these 2. Sweet. Alright, this says 2, so these can be removed. This says 3, which means, and 3 in a line. That's what the parentheses mean, or the brackets, or whatever you call that thing. So there we go, and then this can be removed. And this says 3, so 1, not sure on that one quite yet. It's getting a little bit more challenging. Maybe my brain's just not working. So these 2, so it's either this one or this one. I think I might take a gamble here, although I don't want to. And this is 1, this is 1. I'm gonna guess this is a blue square. It's a guess though. There we go. So I can remove this one. These 2 are connected, so let's delete these 3. And now I know that this one can be flipped. And these 2 are connected, so I can delete that. 3. So I'm going to assume that these 2 need to be flipped and this one needs to be deleted. It's sort of just a guess. And then this one needs to be flipped as well. And then these 3, 1, 2. It's either this square right here or this square over here. I'm not entirely sure. This one can be deleted, and this one can be deleted. All these can be deleted. One blue square up there. I'm not sure if it goes to the left or right, so we're gonna have to figure that out. And then over here, I mean, it might. It's probably sounding very strange listening to me just repeat the same things, but if you follow along closely, you'll see like how my thoughts are going out on the screen. Hopefully you guys are understanding like what I'm doing in my like thought process throughout this entire thing. It looks extremely complicated, but it's very, very simple. It's very similar to Minesweeper as well, if anyone's familiar with Minesweeper, except we're not dealing with mines, we're just dealing with little tiles. It's sort of like Sudoku as well. So this says 2, so this needs to be flipped. This says 3, 1, 2, 3, this can be canceled. This says 2, so this can be canceled. And this says 1, that can be canceled. 0, cancel that. And this says 1, so there's the pattern, and we can delete this side. That says 1, we can delete that, and we can delete that, and we can delete that. There we go. Victory! And if we go back to the menu, you can see that there's actually a lot of stages. I've only completed the first 5. I think there's one more over here, and there's a lot total. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36 stages. And once we get further along, I'm sure the puzzles get way larger and far more complicated. It looks like you need to solve a certain amount to get to the next area. But yeah, I think I'm just going to end this little video here. Thanks for watching, guys. Just a very simple, minimalistic puzzle game. Great for casual players, people who are really into puzzle games, and just want a relaxing and simple game which has a bit of challenge to it. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day.